The Nasir El-Rufai government, which came into power in 2015, may have resolved to have a redefinition of governance in the state, birthing discourse for economic and developmental growth.
These great enterprises that should build from zero, and the policy implications. What do you have for us, and how can we scale the beautiful things you've done?
One of such discusses is the Kaduna Economic and Investment Summit, which kicked off in 2016 with the theme, "Let's Move Kaduna into Global Economy." The summit also tagged CAD Invest created a platform demonstrating that Kaduna State is open for business with a commitment by the government to achieve sustainable economic growth by legislating to make it easier to do business and aligning its budgets to capital expenditure to build human capital and infrastructure. The Kaduna government believes that private investment is the best vehicle for job creation. Therefore, the second edition of the summit this year, themed Making Kaduna the Investment Destination of Choice, tagged CAD Invest 2.0.
An edition held last year to leapfrog the economy of our state beyond our peers and move Kaduna into the global economy. The essence of our economic and investment summits is to showcase Kaduna to the world and attract the much-desired investment needed to revolutionize our state's economy.
The hall is packed full with top personalities from all walks of life, particularly captains of industry and investors.
To know that the investments subsequent to last year's summit were massive. The results of last year's edition are still coming in. And this year,
the Deputy Governor of Kaduna State, Mr. Bala Bantex, reaffirms the essence of the two-year-old economic summit. He states that the government is consolidating on the achievements and outcomes of last year's gathering, while building on the future with clear policies to stimulate growth and development.
We all know, because resources are finite, investment decisions are harder and competitive. Investment decisions are harder. Destination choice is the key economic factor that determines where investors take their investments. This is yet determined by a number of other factors. Key factors that determine the destination choice for the investors, be they local or international, include the environment of business and ease of doing business therein, the returns on investment, the quality of resources, both human and natural, economies of scale, government regulations, proximity to markets, infrastructure, among others. This administration has spent the last 2 years working innovatively to make Kaduna's business environment healthier, friendlier, safer, cost-effective, and more profitable for the investor.
It's the turn of the Speaker of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, Aminu Abdullahi, to speak on the legislature in investment promotion. He has a good testimony of the cordial relationship existing between the legislature and the executive, which he believes is the engine for the policy drive in the state.
By exerting its oversight authority during the budget process and in the development of medium and long-term economic strategies, the Kaduna State House of Assembly works harmoniously with the state executive and guides economic policy toward economic diversification, investment attraction, and ease of doing business in the state. Through its legislative functions, the present Assembly has passed laws from inception which are so critical to the development of our dear state, in the area of peace, stability, access to land, ease of business registration, improvement of status of the society, providing guarantee for governance, protection of rights of the government and its people, improvement in the revenue base of the state, thereby making Kaduna State an investment haven. The Assembly is at the moment working on a number of bills which will be passed in no distant time to further create an investment-friendly atmosphere in the state. Legislative works are almost completed, having received a lot of inputs, memorandum, suggestions, and observations from relevant stakeholders of the state, and the conduct of public hearings to that effect. These bills are as follows: Religious Preaching Bill, Witness Protection Law, Child Rights Bill, Administration of Criminal Justice Bill, Penal Code Law, Bill for Pre-Medical Examination, Peace Commission Bill, Planning and Budget Commission Bill, Kaduna State Land Use Regulation, Kaduna State Transport Regulatory Authority Bill, Kaduna State Road Agency Bill. Also, very soon the Assembly will attend to a newly introduced bill which seeks to establish the Kaduna State Quality Assurance Authority. It is the belief of the Kaduna State House of Assembly that all these laws will open up trade and encourage or create incentives for private sector development and regulatory frameworks that provide control for how private corporations operate and also improve the socio-economic status of the state for the benefit of our people.
Outspoken and one-time Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and now Governor of Kaduna State, Mr. Nasir El-Rufai, discloses that the establishment of the Internal Revenue Service to centralize tax collection, the replacement of the Ministry of Lands with the Kaduna Geographic Information Service, a one-stop agency for all land matters, among other moves taken by his government, have all produced results, while leveraging the private sector participation through its legal and regulatory framework.
Our vision is to make Kaduna great again, make it a state where there is abundant economic opportunities and prosperity, social inclusion, peace and security, good governance, and improved quality of lives of all the citizenry. In the area of economic development, one important pillar is to reduce our reliance on federation account by growing our internally generated revenue. This we have succeeded in doing to some extent because we moved our internally generated revenue by more than 50% within 1 year without increasing any taxes from 13 billion to 18 billion. We've broadened taxpayer registration and collection, and indeed in 2016 we added over 400,000 new taxpayers to our taxpayer database. We have improved the pace at which we do land allocation, and we are signing certificates of occupancy at a very, very fast rate of over 300 CFOs every week. We've maintained our capital to recurrent expenditure ratio at 60-40 and also maintained a sustainable debt position in line with the debt management office criteria. So our hope is that in the year 2020, Kaduna will be a destination for business investment and be the food basket of northern Nigeria, where all citizens have access to quality healthcare and education, live and move freely without fear of harm, under a transparent and accountable government with a highly motivated and efficient civil service.
Governor El-Rufai mentions that the capital projects announced last year have been completed, while some are in the advanced completion stage.
The result was a plan based on two foundations and two areas. The first foundation is one of governance, centered around citizens' engagement. We hold town hall meetings regularly with our people. We establish service delivery institutions, and we are trying to improve our human capacity to deliver. The second foundation is security and justice, to prevent crimes, protect lives and property, and introduce efficiency and fairness in justice administration. But our main focus is on two pillars. The first, economic development, particularly in sectors where we believe we have competitive advantage, like agriculture, mining, and manufacturing. We're also looking at supporting sectors, growing our financial services sector and our telecom sector. On this foundation is infrastructure, the enablers that will enable economic growth.
According to the governor, the unveiler of the Kaduna Infrastructure Master Plan for 2017 through to 2050 has identified about 300 key projects in the state that needs attention. The master plan will look at the infrastructural needs of the state.
We are motivated to produce this plan to link the state development plan to actual steps that we need to take to bring it to fruition. It is a green paper, it's a consultation paper for which we hope will take feedback before concluding and publishing it. We hope to finance the plan through the budget, public debt, public-private partnerships, as well as external support.
Relative peace may have returned to southern Kaduna, where religious and ethnic crisis held sway for some months. But the government insists on a conducive and safe environment for public-private participation.
2018 to 2050. But more importantly,
first-class royal figure, the Sultan of Sokoto, Sa'ad Abubakar III, insists Kaduna is the center and capital of northern Nigeria and must be safe for business to thrive.
This project must succeed. We don't have any second or any other option but to make sure this project the governor is putting together for Kaduna State succeed. Why we say so? Because it will reduce unemployment, to reduce criminal activities, and to bring in more and more people. But to get this together, there must be peace. Nobody will come to any place to invest when there is instability. Therefore, all of us must put politics aside, must come together irrespective of the religious, political divide, irrespective of any ethnicity, put hands together and develop our areas. Our call is to our political leaders. Please put politics aside and take development of our people as the most important. So let's do our own part here and then leave the rest to our Creator. Put politics aside, use politics as one big vehicle that carries everybody along with a driver. You get to a destination, that is the office you are looking for, maybe as a governor. When you get to that government house, throw the key away. No more politics. You are father to all, you are father of all, and bring all on board to succeed. That's the best way out for us, and that's the best way I believe not only Kaduna, all other governors must do if we want to succeed.
Mr. Donald Duke is the former governor of Cross River State and an alumni of Ahmadu Bello University. He's full of commendation for the Nasser El-Rufai administration, but is more impressed with the Kaduna Infrastructure Master Plan, which he says captures the very essence of governance.
the far-sightedness of the vision he articulated here a few moments back, 2018 to 2050. But more importantly, you could see the zeal, the thought process that has gone into the entire concept of moving Kaduna State from just an administrative and political entity to an economic unit contributing to the further growth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this is most commendable. Until we see our states as not merely political units but economic entities, we would not realize the concept of federation.